Hey everybody, it's Chris Seeds, Wootini from GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. I bought this shirt at our family reunion when we were up in Watkins Glen and we hiked the gorge in the state park, and as you can see, I did not realize what my friends might think of this t-shirt, and that's slightly inappropriate, so I don't really want to wear it in public. But I'll wear it for my podcast. Make all the jokes you want in the comments. There was a big superhero movie that came out this past weekend, but I will not be talking about it because I'm not going to see it. I might rent it off Netflix in 6 months or whenever it shows up. But even then, I don't think so, because this Fantastic Four movie does not look great. Like, everything I've heard about it, and not just people saying it's bad, but everything I've heard about the movie itself does not inspire confidence. The fact that it apparently has been massively recut by the studio, and they cut out, like, all the action sequences, so there's, like, literally 2 action sequences in a superhero movie, action movie, and it takes an hour of the hour-and-a-half running time to even give them their powers. Not just get them into costumes, because sometimes the superhero movies, they'll give them the powers, but then it takes a little while longer to get them into the costume. But apparently it takes an hour just to even give them powers, which sounds really boring. It's also apparently, like, I've heard it's super dark, and they're all very, like, grim and upset. And apparently only Johnny Storm likes his Human Torch powers, and everyone else. I mean, obviously Ben Grimm is supposed to be upset about it, but, you know, Reed and Sue shouldn't be upset. You know, they're still okay looking. Yeah, no, everything I've heard about this is just not good. And I just have no interest in seeing some grimdark Fantastic Four movie. People made fun of the Jessica Alba one, and, you know, they're not great. They're not, like, the greatest superhero movies ever made, but they're certainly a lot more fun, and that's what they're supposed to be, fun. So, I'll just go watch those again, and say F it. If you saw Fantastic Four, share in the comments whether it's worth it or not, because I'm pretty sure it's not. What I really wanted to talk about this episode is, this past weekend there was another Splatfest in Splatoon. This time pitting marshmallows versus hot dogs as what you'd most like to cook over a campfire. Very appropriate for the summertime. Obviously I was team marshmallow because marshmallows are awesome and delicious, and they are used to make s'mores, whereas hot dogs are barely meat, and they are simply tubes of leftover scraps, like toenails and bones and teeth and stuff. Hot dogs are not the worst thing in the world, but they're not great, and they're not my favorite. I was very pleased. See, the thing is that this was the first Splatfest I ever got to actually participate in. They had one a while ago where it was like dogs versus cats, and I picked dogs, because obviously, and got my t-shirt and whatever. But then when the actual Splatfest came around, because it's only like 24 hours, it's just that one Saturday on the weekend, either I forgot to play, or I was away and I couldn't play, or whatever, so I missed the dog and cat one. But this time I did play, and but not too much, only a little bit. So I had never experienced a Splatfest before, so I didn't realize how it would work. And it's interesting because the random matchups were incredibly skewed. Because normally in Splatoon, you have a team and they seem to try to mix the high-level and the low-level players together. It still doesn't seem like they've quite got the formula corrected yet, but the problem that I encountered with the Splatfest was, whereas normally you have some high-level players and some low-level players, and sometimes more high-level players are on one team, so the other team gets their ass kicked. The odds are that the next round they'll mix that up again because it's all randomly generated, and you'll end up with some high-level people on your team, so you might win that one. But with the Splatfest, I found that all the matches I was playing, my Team Marshmallow could never beat Team Hot Dog, because Team Hot Dog always seemed to have the higher level players, and Team Marshmallow, we were all lower. Like, I only just made it to 15, you know, so I'm like, pfft. Meanwhile, like, Team Hot Dog was like level 25 and 27 because they raised the cap, and I'm just like, crap. So we did not do well. And in fact, in the grand total, when I checked today, it turns out that marshmallows were wildly more popular than hot dogs, like 60 to 30%, you know. It was like 66 to 33 or whatever it was. It's like 2/3 to 1/3, because nobody likes hot dogs. But everybody who picked Team Hot Dog must have been the super high level because they won more matches. That was closer. That was like a 52% to 48%. So they only just barely made that, but because marshmallows were so much more popular in general, being picked, in the end, Team Marshmallow was victorious. So there. As they should be. But the Splatfest was fun. I did find it a little wildly uneven. It's also odd because it's only one day, and I only made it through, like, one level of the Splatfest name, like the ranks. Like, you start off as, like, a supporter, then you become something else. I don't remember what the words were, but I only made it up to the next level, and then I was like, I have to go do other things. I can't just sit here and play Splatoon all day. If I did, then I might be a level 25 or a level 27. But I'm weirdly back into Splatoon for some reason. Like, I haven't played Batman in like a week. I just keep playing Splatoon again. And I'm not even playing the single player, I just keep jumping into multiplayer matches and loving it. And it's funny because I still love the game. I do wish they'd get the matchmaking just a little bit better, but the thing that's irking me is occasionally you'll be playing, and usually the giveaway is I'll be rolling my ink around, but then I don't see it on the ground, and then I'll be like, oh, we're getting disconnected. And you get and suddenly there's a communication error, and you're disconnected and you have to start over. However, there are times when you're playing and suddenly your team is getting their asses kicked. And you're like, what the hell? They must have all the high-level players on their side. And then when you get the rankings at the end, you realize that there was one person on your team who inked 0 and did not ink a thing, and they must have gotten disconnected. And I'm just like, what the heck? You know? So, and today I played one where our team just wiped the floor. Like, it wasn't even funny. It was like, there was like nothing left of their color. It was very sad. And I thought, what the heck is that all about? And then at the end, it turns out they had literally one person on their team who was trying. The other 3 were all at 0. So they had all gotten disconnected. And I'm like, I'm wondering if when you get that communication error and you're bounced back to the lobby to start over, do the other people still continue playing and it was you who got booted and then your team gets screwed because you disappeared? Because that's not cool. If there's a communication error, the entire game should shut down and everybody should get booted back to the lobby. Because if I was that one guy while the 3 other people disappeared, what are you going to do? Like, there's nothing you can do. There's no way to win that. I mean, unless, like, you're level 25 playing against, like, level 1s, maybe. But even then, it's still, you're outnumbered, so, like, it's crazy. And I know it's super frustrating to me when, like, our team gets our butts kicked, And I'm like, what the hell? That was terrible. Oh, that's embarrassing. And then you look and you see, oh, well, that's because that person disappeared and didn't ink anything. So, I don't know if that's how it actually works. Share your experiences in the comments because I'm curious. And also, yay Team Marshmallow, if you're Team Hot Dog, go ahead and try to defend it, but you can't because, no, marshmallows are better. So I think I'm going to go play some more Splatoon, and I will see you back here next week. Bye!